Good, beautiful morning and welcome back to this channel, Low Drag Lifestyle. So I didn't want to make a video about why you should become a digital nomad. If you're watching this video, I would hope you have your own reasons. You get to travel the world. You definitely get to choose your own office. So what I wanted to do today was to make a video about the reasons that you should do this year. The reasons why this year is the best year so far in the history of the world, in my opinion, to become a digital nomad, to travel the world, work online, and to build a life that doesn't slow you down. So let's get into it. So this is probably the biggest and most important reason on this list, and it is that the events of 2020 and 2021 have forced companies to move forward and into a world where they have remote staff and remote workers. Companies that weren't even thinking that it would be possible for them to have staff working remotely and off-site now have up to 100% of their staff working off-site and remotely. What this means is that companies are starting to offer these jobs, realizing that they don't need to pay for so many people in the building. They can have people around the world, and this can have many advantages for them. This means that there are more remote jobs this year than ever before. The next reason that this year is the best year ever to become a digital nomad and start working online is that internet access around the world is better than it ever has been. I remember finishing university in 2010 and going back to my little hometown. I was going to different cafes and looking for Wi-Fi, looking for internet access. And back then in 2010, nowhere had it. I literally had to go to the next town, the next city, in order to find internet access. These days, not only has the internet arrived in my little hometown, but everywhere that used to have a reputation for having bad internet is slowly improving. Rural areas are getting better access to the internet. Islands are getting better access to the internet. And mobile internet is becoming better than it ever has been. So for this reason, this year is the best year ever to start working online. Okay, I'm going to do this one quickly because I'm running out of light. The internet is capable of more things than it ever has been before. Okay, so story time. My mum lived in Switzerland for almost 10 years, kind of just before I was born. And if she wanted to contact my grandmother, her mom, she had to send a letter or maybe make a very expensive phone call if it was something really important they wanted to discuss. The idea of making a video call, certainly making a video call for free, is just not something that existed. It was the kind of thing that governments and TV stations, TV networks could do, not normal people like us. Meanwhile, when I went to university in 2010, we could send messages instantly. These days, I live in South Korea, and there are literally tens of different, or probably hundreds of different platforms trying to get my attention to make free video calls to my mom on the other side of the world. I have software on my laptop which uses AI to get rid of the noise in the background of my calls so I can make video calls in the middle of cafes and people think that I'm sitting there on my own. Not only that, but these days you don't need to arrive in a country and open a bank account in a bank. You can bank online and open bank accounts in hundreds of currencies in a couple of seconds. Every year that we move forward, the internet is capable of more and more. Far smarter people than I are thinking of cool and new stuff to do with the internet and with technology. And for that reason, being a digital nomad and working online from anywhere in the world is easier now than it ever has been. Before we move on to my final point, the best reason why this is the best year ever to become a digital nomad, let me remind you that this channel, Low Drag Lifestyle, is about building a life that doesn't slow you down, minimalist travel, working online, and doing everything that you really want to do in life. If that sounds good, then hit subscribe. I come come out with brand new videos every single week. Hit the like button and leave a comment down below introducing yourself. Okay, let's get on with it. There are more ways to go freelance today and to work for yourself than ever before. Yes, I've talked about getting a traditional job, absolutely a job that allows you to work remotely, but if that fails, hey, create your own job. Personally, I teach English online and I could tell you a dozen websites where you can do that. If you want to be able to sell your knowledge, there are more ways to do that than ever with websites like Udemy, where you can make a course and then make potentially a lot of money selling it. On top of that, there are so many ways you can make money as a creator. The creator economy is worth $100 billion right now, with YouTube accounting for about 30% of that. The fact is that if you have a way that you can add value to other people's lives, then on the internet, you can turn that into a full-time income. So if you are thinking about traveling the world and working online, maybe this video up here, all about exactly how travel can make your money worth more, would be interesting to you. Also, if you're thinking about traveling the world, then maybe you're thinking about doing it full-time or just long-term. And in that case, this video down here, all about how to pack for long-term, full-time travel, might be something that interests you. And I'll see you in the next one.